Hey there! It's another edition of. Oh, and the fridge has decided to add its 2 cents. Another edition of Completely Drained of Energy with Bradley. As per usual, I'm often brimming with thoughts, but when it comes time to do this update, I'm just not. Probably still getting used to it. Anyway, I'm trying to go along with the principle of just do it so as, just keep doing these, and I'll get into a routine, and my brain will, take over automatically at a certain point. There's an interesting point right there. The brain is just a. It's my opinion that the brain is actually just a recording and filtering mechanism. Not a new viewpoint, of course, but there are pretty much no new viewpoints. Anyway, not much of a change since the last update. Still unemployed. Have to do a bunch of applications and do my taxes. I seem to have a major resistance barrier to doing mundane things right now. I guess because I don't know. It just seems like a complete waste of time. But of course, it's technically the exact opposite. But I get no joy out of it. So to me, something that I don't get any energy or joy out of is basically a waste of time. But I live in the real world, so I have to do it. Anyway, I'm trying to prod my sluggish brain to give us something interesting to talk about. Part of the difficulty with that is just the background thing. A lot of the stuff I have to talk about, if you don't have the appropriate background, it'll seem like complete and utter gibberish. Unless, of course, I highly structure the entire thing and, write it out as an essay or make a list of points or whatever. I was going to do all that, but again, my whole overthinking thing, it just started to become a kind of an infinite problem. Of course, the cool thing is I can just cut out these endless moments of silence if I really want to. But if I do that, I will probably just stop and never start again. So, I don't know. I guess I understand dead air now. Well, there's a thought. Maybe I'll just, one of two things. I'll either get some practice editing by cutting out the dead air, or I'll just finish recording this entire thing and then just go on to another one, and hopefully I'll have some energy. That's the thing, really. Basically, my energy right now is tied up in the mundane, which acts as a block, essentially. Yeah, no, it's definitely not there. Another thing I'm thinking about is whether I should have these updates be such a large file size and be so high res, because I'm just a talking head, so it doesn't really matter if I put these on at a. I mean, you want them at a reasonable, undistractingly disgusting resolution, but it doesn't really make any sense to put them on at super high D so you can look at me sit here in a chair and in front of a static background in my apartment at super high res. It's just pointless. So maybe I'll play around with that. Yeah. Anyway, let's go look through. I don't think I'm going to get to anything substantial, but again, I guess this is just another practice run. Let's go look through my web stuff, which I assume this is still recording, even though I can't see myself anymore, which is a little bit odd. Right. Unsolved scientific puzzles, yeah. Here's a whole massive potential of discussing. Mostly I discuss meta things, as in, I'm not really interested in discussing the major content of a lot of stuff, just because, frankly, it's all been discussed endlessly to the point where it's pointless. What I like to do is I like to find the cracks in the arguments and the cracks in the various viewpoints, and of which there are plenty. Oh God, I felt like I felt like Agent Smith there for a second. So what you see is, yeah. Anyway, well, yeah. What the hell? Let's just go through these. Most of the universe is missing. We can only account for 4% of the cosmos. Right. Dark matter and dark energy. I personally consider those to be completely bunk. You know, I mean, what else can give you a better sign that you're barking up the wrong tree when you're basically saying that 96% of the universe is undetectable? I mean, come on. The Pioneer anomaly. That's quite interesting. Slight anomalous acceleration, which again, a lot of things could potentially be described by, or one of these anomalies could potentially be explained by what is apparently considered a heresy on the internet called the electric universe hypothesis, or the electric universe model, which I actually find a lot of it seems quite reasonable to me. I mean, I suppose I could go on about that. It's really a matter of the angle. Again, I mean, if I start talking about something without, the proper starting point, I don't know, I don't really have any momentum. Anyway, better check my time again. Holy crap. Almost 8 minutes of nonsensical rambling. Well, this is pointless, but I'm gonna put this up anyway. What the hell? At least I'm putting it up. Maybe I'll call this episode Fail. 2 minutes. What was it? Constants may be variable. Yes, again, that makes total sense. Cold fusion. Well, despite what you may have heard, cold fusion never went away. In fact, cold fusion was never proven to be wrong, or shown that it wasn't, was insubstantial. It was, in fact, kind of a snow job to make people ignore it, and people went on doing it. It's just that it doesn't fit within the current models, even though they keep getting results. So, they just swept it under the rug. That's happened to many things. Let's see, next page. Wow, yeah, 10 minutes of this is not enough time. It's not enough time to get my groove on. I have to be completely focused. I need like an hour. Even then, I'd probably have to edit it. Life. Nobody knows what life is. Right. Da-da-da-da. I can probably explain that, actually, because it has to do with awareness and dimensional energy and a bunch of other things, which I've actually kind of figured out, but it's kind of difficult to describe in a short period of time. Possible life on Mars? Yeah, quite possible. The WOW signal. Yeah, interesting. Giant virus. That was a new one. I hadn't heard about that one. There's this gigantic virus, which is like 30 times bigger than any known virus, which is kind of impossible. Whoops, we're out of time. All right. Well, I guess that's another kind of hideously boring update, but hey, I'm posting them. Go me. As my energy level rises, this will hopefully become more interesting. Talk to y'all later.